Government recently introduced new legal barriers by increasing mandatory waiting time from 3 to 5 days. Such unwarranted waiting time failed to respect women's autonomy. There is neither law or strategy on reproductive health rights. Practice of sex-selective abortion reflects gender inequality in which girls are seen as an economic burden. States have not introduced measures to tackle sex-selective abortion and consider sex-selective abortion as an integral part of reproductive health and rights law. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Abortion seems to be the major birth control method in Georgia, in spite of the fact that during the last years the promotion of various family planning methods have had a positive, visible result on the health of women. However, many women still do not have key information or even access to resources about reproductive health services.
I am deeply concerned about the issue of early marriage or child marriage, and I would like to ask the State Party whether this is prohibited and whether measures are being taken to prohibit this practice, given that the Ombudsman has supplied information regarding a large number of cases between 2011 and 2013 of girls who have dropped out of school primarily as a result of marriage. I also would like to ask the state what measures it is taking to raise awareness amongst the population about selective abortion. In other words, once it has been determined that the woman is carrying a female fetus. Yesterday, the delegation told us that the waiting period before an abortion may take place had been extended from 3 to 5 days. But this runs counter to what is recommended by the World Health Organization. And I would therefore like to know what reason led to this time frame being extended. I do not see any rationale for this.
When it comes to the abortion and 5 days, in Georgia we have been under Soviet regime 5 million Georgians. Right now we are not more than 4 million. According to demographic data, in 20 years will be just 2 million. Georgia is facing a huge demographic problem. On the other side, the state got impression from what we see in practice that women, when they are, for instance, they are not married, but they are pregnant, the first reaction is to abort. Because being pregnant outside the marriage is sometimes a problem, especially in rural areas. So my colleague from the healthcare ministry thought and proposed to the government, and we unanimously adopted it, that we would give more time for reflection to those women. Not 3, but 5 days. So this is the political background of the decision which has been just taken. 3, 4, 5 days or more, but right now it's 5 days. There is no problem with access to abortion. After 5 days of reflection, they can have free access to abortion if they do not change their decision. And if I'm not mistaken, we do not have in practice any case where the doctor would refuse to go ahead. No problem with access to abortion. We, at least women in the government of Georgia, defend very strongly the right to abortion because it's very important for women's rights. But we decided to give 2 extra days to those vulnerable women, and especially young girls who can be pregnant, who can be afraid of being a single mother without fathers, husbands, and brothers' help.
It was actually argued by professionals that 3 days were not enough to fully rethink and reapply to this decision-making process after the first visit, when doctor is obliged by the Georgian regulations to provide full information to the woman to make informed choice. That's clear. Extension of this period serves to the escalation of the emotional background and giving more opportunities to the woman to make informed decision, not under emotional escalation. When it comes to the access to the service as such, government of Georgia or professional associations have never argued to actually restrict access to the services as an effective measure to combat selective abortion or even high rates of abortion in Georgia, because we have quite an unfortunate experience early in 90s when government decided to prohibit abortion by the legislation, and Georgia has done it, and overnight number of abortions decreased considerably, and Georgia had early joy that we have combated abortion successfully, but after 5 years reproductive health surveys discovered that maternal mortality increased very much, and it happened because of underreported illegal abortions completed at home, so the same medical personnel have been engaged in that. So this is a good lesson for Georgia for never ever coming back to the thinking of restriction to the service. We believe that good regulative framework and good information system, also combating the social and cultural factors which contribute to the selective abortion, is a complex response to that problem. Thank you.